And as the rainy season is in full swing, there are alarming reports of people who drown in river crossings across the country. In KwaZulu-Natal, most of the cases include motorists attempting to drive through low-lying bridges and flooded river streams. Annually, the provincial government issues warnings for motorists to be vigilant. To look at some of the province's infrastructural challenges, we're now joined by Senzelwe Mzila, who is the spokesperson of the KwaZulu-Natal Cooperative Governance Department. Senzelwe, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you are able to hear us. Take us through what your department, in collaboration working with the traditional leaders in the particular communities of KwaZulu-Natal that get often affected by flooding in the low-lying bridges, are doing to deal with infrastructure challenges, because if the bridges are flooding, that means that our infrastructure may not necessarily be up to scratch.
Good evening to you and good evening to the viewers. The province of KwaZulu remains committed to combating climate change. The province is committed to being climate change resilient, and through the leadership of the MEC for COPTA, Reverend Senzelwe Mzila, the department is working closely with all stakeholders within the institution of traditional leadership to ensure that communities continue to be informed about the dangers that are posed by inclement weather conditions. Now the province every year faces billions of rands in damage to infrastructure as a result of severe weather conditions. To mitigate this, the MEC for COPTA is working closely with social partners such as NGOs that are working within communities within the specific area of providing relief to communities, raising awareness within communities. And the MEC has also ensured that municipalities are being capacitated to play their role in disaster response and disaster mitigation and prevention.
Let's talk about the awareness campaigns that you just referred to, that you say the MEC continuously makes. Do you think that you are seeing return on investment, as it were? Are people taking heed of the fact that, you know, they're being told that they cannot drive in such areas? Or is it because they find themselves that there is no other option but to use a particular route?
Well, one of the challenges that we continue to face as a province, as you rightly indicated, is the issue of people building in areas that are low-lying. We also have cases where people continue to cross low-lying bridges or crossing rivers when it is not ideal to do so. Part of the interventions that the department is doing is to work closely with communities to ensure that even at ward level, they fully are aware of what the consequences are of inclement weather conditions. The department also continues to utilize various media platforms such as the SABC to ensure that communities are fully informed about the dangers that are faced. One of our concerns as well is that with the schools closed right now and the heavy rains, there are large bodies of water that form. And one of our concerns that we have is that parents and guardians need to continue to ensure that our young people do not go to these unsafe and unguarded bodies of water. They must ensure that they utilize safe spaces that are designated for swimming.
While this next question may most probably be best directed to public works, but the state of infrastructure just across the provinces appears, across that province of KwaZulu-Natal, appears to be displaying levels of decay. Can you share with us some of the provincial government's ongoing investments to upgrade roads and bridges? And perhaps you can give us an update on some of the incomplete projects that and their missed deadlines, and where when you think you'll be finished. This is an example. To give you an example, at the Emangeni Ward 1 in Umzimkulu, we understand that buses cannot cross there when it rains, and scores of people have lost their lives there over the years. What are the plans to upgrade that bridge?
Well, one of the concerns that the MEC for COPTA, MEC Mzila, has indicated is that as the province continues to receive a lot of damage to its infrastructure, our municipalities need to be beefed up in terms of their capacity to roll out this infrastructure. I indicated earlier on that the province spends about 3 billion rand a year from the municipal infrastructure grant. This is money that is given to municipalities for them to implement infrastructure such as water, sanitation, electricity and roads. Now, with rains and disasters, we've seen that billions of rands worth of infrastructure gets damaged. And so part of the interventions that are taking place is that through the National Disaster Management Center, through the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs National Department, the province continues to receive support in terms of relief and funding that is aimed specifically at ensuring that we plug those gaps that appear when this infrastructure is damaged. Also, the NEC is working closely with our municipalities to ensure that they continue to be beefed up the capacity in terms of managing these projects and also in terms of their own integrated development plans, that they are climate change resilient and that they speak to the needs of communities and factor in the reality of climate change.
Senzelwe, thank you so much for your time. I've been speaking to Senzelwe Mzila. He's the spokesperson of the KwaZulu-Natal Cooperative Governance Department.